are. They are obvious, common sense. There's nothing to argue about that. The facts that half of the world is starving, that so and so many children are dying each day from hunger unnecessarily just because the system operates as it operates, and this is human created. These are all facts, and this is very simple to see, and it is obvious for everyone. Every child can see this and can agree to this. So this is a fact. On the contrary, his points about the value of the human mind and of the thinking and of the desire for knowing how the world operates and the philosophies and all the stories and ideas and fantasies, there's no proof and no fact in his speech for that, because how far have we got with this? How far has mankind got with this? What do we have today? What kind of world do we have today? What value have these stories and these philosophies, these ideologies, the political systems? None. There are now no value. There's no value in this. We didn't have changed anything in reality. In fact, one could say that it is not complicated enough for Sabot 96. So therefore, the human being always thinks and seems to need something that looks and sounds very complicated, and therefore many philosophies that are absolutely useless for life, absolutely useless and of no value for living, sound very complicated, and in fact are very complicated, designed, but they don't have any use. What is of use for mankind is to stop and to face reality and to face its own creation. If mankind is able to face its own creation in self-honesty, this is not complicated, this is simple, this is easy. And the world has become complicated because we like to hide things. We like to camouflage our real intentions. We like to make up strategies in order to exploit and manipulate others in our daily lives. And we like to feign intellectual standards that we in fact do not have, because it's all knowledge that we are like a parrot repeating. We have accumulated knowledge and repeat it and mix it up and try to make it complicated. And in fact, this is what comes out here is by at Sabbath 1696 is that he seems to be not satisfied with what Desteni is presenting as the truth, as simple as it is, because it is not complicated enough. He sees himself as too intellectual or too much a philosopher to accept the naked, simple truth as it is. Next, he states that the argument of oneness and equality was the only map that exists beyond existence, that this was utter nonsense because there's no proof of that, and we don't know it. So Sabot 96 can say and can state for himself that he has no proof because he doesn't know it. Because for any proof you have or you will have, you need to make it up for yourself. You need to make your own proof. You need to be and become your own proof. And this is the process of Desteni. This is the process of Desteni, to become an equal, to stop the mind from creating all kinds of artificial superiority and competition, and to become one and equal with and as all life. And therefore you have to do it for yourself. You have to work for yourself. It is not enough to stand there or to sit there and read something and to still be in the mind and be a lazy guy who don't want to change himself because those habits are so comfortable that I have accumulated in my life, and I want to stay the one I am because I like myself so very much, and my environment likes me as well. And you need to change, and you actually need to have your own proof. And any proof you take for granted just because you read it as a proof, and your mind as logic makes it up and it sounds logical to you, is not really a proof. You're still just believing. You're still just a believer, because the only proof you can have is to be your own proof. And he continues that way, asking questions: how could this be? How could that be? There's no proof about this, and this is not proven, and where's the proof for this? And Sabbath 96, it is all about self. This is the message of Destiny. And everyone who is talking about Destiny and trying to judge Destiny or criticize Destiny should be able to do the research at first. And to know what he's talking about means to read the material. So there's no problem if somebody doesn't agree to it, but at least one should read it and should understand it prior to talking about it or judging it or criticizing it. And if somebody is asking about proof, he asks about a proof that is being explained to him by another one. It can never be a proof to you. You will still be a believer. It will still be a belief. So therefore, everything is about self. Therefore, self-honesty, self-forgiveness, self-realization. It is all about self. You have to be your own proof. And if you are not able to do your research, if you are not able to change yourself and to do something for yourself, then it is absolutely useless. And if you accept any proof given to you by another one just because it sounds logically to you, you are just a believer. Nothing is done by you yourself. You're just programmed to believe it. So this is what Destiny is about. Therefore, self-honesty, self-forgiveness, self-realization. Stop yourself. Stop your mind as what you have become. Dare to stop and see the reality, naked and true as it is. And again, he continues with absolutely no proof for anything that is written in Destiny. It is not about you reading something and then you have the proof that it is. And then you can decide, okay, now I'm on the safe side because it is proven theoretically, therefore now I will change. So this is not how it works. I mean, this is obvious. This is not kindergarten, this is life. So if you want to change, if you are honest, self-honest, and if you really want to change, if your interest is really all life and not only yourself as the personality, as your mind, as your ego, so then you will dare to do it, to stop, to test it out. And this is what Destiny, it is always, you are always asked to test it out for yourself. Don't believe anything that is being said, either of Destiny or anyone else. Don't believe anything. Don't ask for a proof. What kind of habit is it to ask somebody else for a proof of a theory or of a hypothesis? So this is cowardly. This is cowardness. This is cowardness. If you want proof, then prove it by yourself. This is what Destiny is all about. And this is the only way it can function. This is common sense. And this is, by the way, the common usage of all deceivers to simply judge something and label something as useless or rubbish, which oneself doesn't even understand, and therefore trying to deceive other people from understanding it. So if you are able to hold back enough people from understanding something that questions your life and all your values that you have developed in your life, then you will have a group of people that are as ignorant as yourself, and therefore you can feel yourself better. You can feel yourself good and safe, as if you were on the safe side. And then it goes completely into fantasizing. I don't know where he's going now. It is he's talking about the next point he's grabbing out of the Destiny material is if you completely stop yourself from being the mind and your personality, then this will change the world. This is a very abstract view on the Destiny message, and then he's arguing that this could lead to, he's trying to be ironic. This could lead to all kinds of wars because then you can kill your neighbor, and I don't know where he's taking this from, because it is always the message of Destiny is the message that we know as the message of Christ. It is love thy neighbor as thyself, and actually seeing this message as it is meant, as an equal, as life equally. I don't know why he's talking here about killing your neighbor. This must be something he's making up in his mind, and this must be something he's dealing with as a personality that he has become. Yeah, basically, he's summarizing, in order to accuse Desteni, uh, he's summarizing the state of the world as it is. He's summarizing what is happening today, nowadays, in the world, that people are killing their neighbors because out of ideologies and ideas and fantasies that he was speaking of in such a high value at the beginning of his video, that countries feel superior to other countries and therefore strike wars against other countries. And this is what he's summarizing now as an accusation against Desteni. I really don't get this point. So basically, he didn't understand anything from the Desteni material. He never intended to understand anything. He just wants to push his own ego here. He just wants to defend his idea of a superior being that was intelligent and with abilities to philosophize and to build up ideologies, and he is he's a believer in all the stuff that led to. So in fact, he's summarizing the principles that we are being brainwashed to in our world today, that we educate our children to believe that they as a country are better than other people or other countries, that we need to make war against other countries because they don't follow our principles and all that stuff. And he's summarizing the world as it is today, and that this has nothing to do with Desteni and the Desteni message. On the contrary. So this is simple try to manipulate the viewers here and to take all the so-called bad attributes of our world and of our society and make Desteni responsible for this. This is ridiculous. So next, one of the main, most interesting arguments of Sabot 96 here concerning the equal money system, which he obviously hasn't researched properly as well, is that he is talking about the understanding of money, how it exists, and that money exists in order to manage scarcity. Absolutely right. It is not only there to manage scarcity, it is there to produce scarcity. And if one is talking about scarcity exists in the world naturally, and therefore we need money to manage the scarcity, then you obviously haven't done research and you haven't faced the world as it is, as it exists. What is happening is that a part of the world here in our Western countries, the industrialized civilizations, is squandering an unimaginable amount of resources for purposes like mind-created personality structures that create needs and desires in people that are absolutely unnecessary, and where other people that are living in absolute poverty have to work and to suffer intensively in order to produce these articles that are so absolutely unnecessary to support our squandering here as we live here. There is no scarcity of resources. The resources that life needs, that you need and require to live, to have a dignified living in this world, on this planet, are there. They are being robbed, and they are unjust being distributed amongst people that are in control of the money system, of the money as it exists now. It is absolutely ignorant to claim that, or to proclaim that there was a scarcity in the world and it would need such a money system as we have created it in order to manage it and to choose who is going to be able and to have access to the resources. This is what is actually happening. Those that are in control of the money and that have the power over the money are choosing who is going to have the access to the resources, and